Um, I've grown up and all my life been an outdoors person. Through my work with 20 years at Outward Bound, the outdoors has been our classroom, is our classroom. And so I would say that my primary area of focus, although there's so much, certainly business, jobs, all the things you've talked about, entrepreneurship, but I'd say the environment is such a precious resource for our state and truly is the reason we all live here. I am on the Environment and Natural Resources Committee. I have been for 4 years. I expect to, if I'm reelected, to go back to that committee. I will be a sitting senior member on that committee then, working to find ways of keeping our environment whole and protected, all the while partnering with the business community and with the economic development people to see that as one of our most precious resources, which also is a driver for our economy. And there are many ways to do that, and I've seen wonderful work done, bipartisan work done in my committee to really marry the needs of both development and the environment in healthy ways that are protective and yet encourage the kind of growth in our economy that we need. People that I've talked to, especially those who are able to work virtually, they live here in Maine because they love the environment and they want their children to grow up here, but they're able to work from Boston or wherever. It's because of our environment. And I just think, just like the Brookings report says, the quality of place and the quality of our environment is a truly important resource for us. So protecting that, working for it, and making ways to make it part of our economic engine is really important to me.
Thank you. Now, time has come for our candidate closing statements, and due to the wonders of the golden ratio and the sheer beautiful symmetry of Camden and Rockport, we've come back full circle to our original order of questioning. I just wanted to ask the candidates if they were comfortable if we started off and went in that order again for our closing statements. Is everyone okay with that? Mm-hmm. Great. Okay, good. Chris, our concluding statement. We have 3 minutes per candidate.
This is an election about the future of Maine and the choices that will determine whether we return to the failed policies of the past that made Maine the worst place in the nation to do business, or if we continue our move forward toward a stronger economy that allows for all Maine people to have an opportunity for success. Some would have us go backwards to a time when things were not working. Taxes were too high, our government was too expensive, and the burdens on job creators, Maine's businesses, large and small, were heading us in the wrong direction. We have about 16,000 people who are currently collecting unemployment, not to mention those folks underemployed or discouraged from looking for work. Our young people, like my son Sam, are leaving our state because we're not providing competitive jobs for them here at home. We can't afford to return to the past. We can't grow our economy with high taxes, cumbersome regulations, government inefficiencies, and a failure to be transparent in our state agencies. We need to allow innovation and entrepreneurship to lead our state to the new economy of the 21st century, delivering the promise of the future to our citizens. And we need to be sure that government is not standing in the way of that future. We can do this. In the 19th century, we participated in a global economy where many of the nation's most successful entrepreneurs lived in these very towns in mid-coast Maine. We were the global traders, not afraid of foreign competition, but understanding that our work ethic, our skills, our intellect, and our education would win the day. We were right back then, and we can be again. We need to be certain we have a workforce trained in the needs of the 21st century economy. That means we need education from early childhood through college and beyond, lifelong learning that meets the needs of our families and our employers. We need to be certain that businesses are given the tools that they need to innovate and provide jobs for our workforce. We need tax policies that are fair and equitable, that don't punish success, but recognize that we all have a role to play in contributing to the promise of Maine. I believe our best days are ahead of us, not in the past. But they will not come unless we work hard to improve our economy and our government. We've made strides in improving our regulatory climate, our tax structure, state pensions, our transparency in state agencies, our health insurance, and our budgeting in the last sessions of the legislature. To continue to improve our state, This district needs a senator with a proven record of accomplishment and a demonstrated ability to work across party lines for what's in the best interests of the people of Maine. If you look at my record, I think you'll agree I am the better candidate to represent Knox County again in the Maine Senate, to continue that path to prosperity for our communities and for the state of Maine. Thank you all for coming. We really appreciate you coming out tonight.
Thank you. Carol.
Thank you again for coming tonight. I hope that this evening has been informative and gives you a clear reason as to why I am the best candidate for Camden and Rockport's seat in the legislature. I'm excited to start my work at the state level. In fact, in some ways, it has already started. I've been meeting with local business people, hearing their concerns. I've been attending as many different organizational meetings as I can to hear their concerns. I've been researching the issues. And best of all, I've helped a single mom in Camden who was recently laid off restore her unemployment benefits when they were inexplicably discontinued. I'm looking forward to getting on the Education and Marine Resources Committees. They are of interest to me, and my service on them will be of use to us in this region and statewide. I'd like to form a coastal caucus whose mission it is to join representatives and senators in a bipartisan way to advocate, champion, and support the needs of our coastal communities. I want to initiate listening tours where the committees travel the state collecting feedback and ideas. We cannot operate in a vacuum at the state level. We must encourage dialogue and solicit ideas. Partnerships with the private sector will help us solve the problems of our state. I will not be an invisible legislator, sorry. Oops. The pace of a 2-year term is fast and furious, and it's up to me to be a quick study, apply what I learn to benefit the residents of Camden, Rockport, and in the greater state. I'm not afraid of voicing my opinion, working hard, or questioning for greater clarification. I'm a problem solver and realize that a diverse state makes us stronger. To that end, we need to encourage the creative economy, downtown initiatives, research and development for sources of energy other than foreign oil, maintain the integrity of our natural resources, and look at educational opportunities that encourage pathways to work. I'm optimistic that our state can continue to improve with hardworking people in Augusta who are constantly seeking ways to connect outside of their committees. Maine is a small state, and we are in this together. If you have ideas, I want to hear them, and I'll do what I can. Thank you again for your time, and I'd appreciate your vote on November 6th.
Thank you. Joan.
I'd like to thank you all for coming, and I'd also like to thank Carol for a respectful campaign. It's the way our community is, and it's been very, very good. I've worked very hard, both in the legislature but also for the constituents in my district. I've listened to people, I've advocated for them, and I've voted many times because I have heard from you, my constituents, where I might on my own have voted a different way. I've sponsored bills to close environmental loopholes, improve recycling rates, help Maine Water, which I mentioned before. I voted in support of our local banks in the Samoset. I saved $400,000 for our school districts by voting to do away with the school penalties that was part of the consolidation effort. I have been endorsed by One Maine, Maine League of Conservation Voters, by the Professional Firefighters of Maine, and 7 other organizations. But I would say we are all in this together. There is no one party that has all the answers. Our first priority, however, really needs to be to come together, create jobs, and work to improve the middle-income people in our community and in our state. And we need to do this by creating the jobs that we have talked about tonight in, I think, a very healthy and wholesome way. But we all We need to promote the Maine brand, not just tourism, but we need to let our country know about the wonderful things we have and do in our state. They need to buy things from Maine, but they also need to come to Maine to enjoy our environment, see it as a friendly workplace, and an absolutely wonderful place to raise families. We need to really invest in research and development, and I hope all of you will vote for all the bond issues that are on the ballot this year. They're all really important in helping move our economy forward. That and also includes our infrastructure, our roads, our bridges, and especially broadband. I think that's critical to the innovation and the entrepreneurship that Chris was talking about. We need an educated and trained workforce. Education is key to job development and to the new manufacturing efforts that are being made in the state, having a workforce that can really be a part of their workers. We also need to support our traditional industries, our fisheries, and some of the...
10 seconds, John, sorry.
Okay. And we need to reduce our energy costs through energy conservation and energy efficiency. We also want to foster our emerging industries as really important ways of building jobs. I'm eager to continue to work for you in my third term. I ask for your vote, and I really thank you for coming. Thank you.
Thank you. Ed, please, can we hold that to the end? Thank you. Ed.
Yes, thank you all for coming on this rainy night. And in closing, I would just like to say that, first of all, in Augusta, I'm known as the coach up there, and by both sides. And that gives you an idea that I can work with both sides. Both sides come to me when they have problems, and we discuss them. So that is an ability that I think stands well for Knox County, my ability to get along with all sides of the issue, to listen and to try to work something out so that it benefits the entire state. My door is never closed. My phone is never off the hook. I take calls, I talk to people, I am willing to listen. As I said earlier, listening is very, very important. My values are relatively simple. I'm honest, I work hard, people respect me. I came from a humble beginning. We didn't have a whole lot, but in the neighborhood I grew up in, you had to learn to get along with many different people of different religious beliefs, different colors, different economic backgrounds, different nationalities. And I've lived by what I learned as a child growing up in Connecticut. I live by those values I learned, that you respect people for who they are and what they are. I've always put people first. To me, that's the most important thing. My life's work as a teacher, as a coach and father, as a legislator, has always been the concerns and issues of other people. I've worked very hard to open the door to my house so people feel comfortable and come in and can talk to me. I've proven this over the last 10 years as a counselor as a city council member of Rockland and as a state representative in District 47. Those who know me know I work hard, know I'm dedicated, and they know I will do my best to ensure that I do the best I can. I don't take the back seat to anyone. I strive and I work hard for the people I represent, for the interest, the fishing interest, the transportation system, the communications we need. We work hard to make sure that we get the best. I'd like to return to Augusta to balance the things that are going on there. Some of the things I'm not particularly too proud of.
10 seconds, Ed.
But I hope that you would find that I'm the type of guy that's honest, that's hardworking, and I will come back and listen to your concerns and bring them with me to Augusta and make a change for the better. Thank you.
Now you can applaud. Okay, folks. We have a few thank yous to get through, and if I could just have your indulgence to stay in your seats so that we don't have a lot of chair scraping on TV for the folks at home. Moderating's fun, but you can't moderate without an invigilator, and I would like to thank my friend here, Linda Clancy of PenBayPilot.com, for a sterling job on the timekeeping and for making sure she kept me honest as well. And you should no doubt can read all about tonight's proceedings very soon on PenBayPilot.com, and be sure to check that out online. Also like to thank Jeff and Sally for AV services tonight, for the mics, for the TV, wonderful work. Molly and the Rockport Public Library for sponsoring. Excuse me. To our viewers at home, to all of you for attending and for your questions, and to our candidates, not only for being here tonight and so willing to answer questions, but also for being so willing to serve. I know it can often be a thankless task, but it is wonderful to have such positive individuals running for our offices here, and I appreciate all that you do and all that you will do in the future. So we've had 2 hours, 4 candidates, and 12 questions, and a full house. The most important numbers, though, for all of you and everyone watching at home are 11 and 6. Be sure to get out and vote on November the 6th. Exercise your democratic right. Thank you very much, and good night.